Okay. Hi everybody. Welcome to the EclipseCon here in Ludwigsburg. My name is Lukas and I'm here from Yatta today, and I want to show you how you can set up your Eclipse IDE easier with Yatta profiles for Eclipse, and furthermore give you a few impressions of the Sandbox for Eclipse, which is in fact a very reduced platform IDE. And I want to show you what is our plan with the Sandbox for Eclipse and how you can use this tool. Maybe a few words about me and about Yatta. I am a software engineer at Yatta for a couple of years now. I worked in different customer projects as a full stack developer, front-end and back-end technologies. And of course, I have experience with Eclipse development and plugin development. I contributed some code to the JDT, and I'm involved in our product development. I, for example, worked on UML Lab, modeling IDE, and at the moment, I'm a developer at the Profiles project to help you to install your Eclipse setups easier. We at Yatta, we have a vision and a great goal. We want to help developers out there in the world to build great software products easier. And we have an office in Kassel and in Frankfurt. And yes, to help you to develop great software, we believe in Eclipse as a tool. Because we think Eclipse is a great tool to achieve this goal, and that's why we participate in the Eclipse open source process. We have committers in different Eclipse projects. I listed some for you here. For example, the Expand project. Carsten's here for the marketplace client. We have committers for the E4 Sandbox project. I am one of the committers indeed, and last but not least, the Eclipse project, which we use exhaustively for profiles too. And yes, why do we believe in Eclipse to be such a great tool to help people to develop great software? Because software development is very individual. There are plenty of tools and software libraries and everything else out there in the world. And Eclipse supports so many of them, but as a result, Eclipse is highly complex, and it's very complicated to configure the Eclipse IDE. So every company out there, every software project, and every developer even has an own setup for the Eclipse IDE with a different tool stack, and you cannot say, okay, there's one perfect Eclipse IDE everyone should use. No, of course not. There are many of them, but because it's so complex to configure them correctly, yes, it's very hard for newcomers or for teams to share the same IDE or to share a good way of development with Eclipse. And that's where we said that have to be easier. So one has to share his or her Eclipse with colleagues or friends more easier. And that's what we developed profiles for. Just to give you an example of a typical setup process, let's say I'm a new employee in a company and I get to work on my first day. I check my emails and I received a mail, hey, great you're here. We have prepared a wiki page and it tells you how to set up your Eclipse IDE to start your work. And so I open this wiki page, and there are many, many steps. Scroll bar is very small. First it says, okay, download an Eclipse package. So let's say I'm an Eclipse newbie. So I Google for Eclipse packages, and I find out, oh, there are many of them. So which one shall I download? I don't know. So I maybe ask my colleague, hey, dude, which package shall I install? He says, sorry, I cannot help you, but Chuck over there, he maybe has an idea. He knows everything about Eclipse in our company. Every one of us knows that one guy that knows everything about Eclipse. So I head over to Chuck and ask Chuck, hey Chuck, it says I shall install Eclipse package. I don't know which one. And Chuck says, no problem, just install the Java package. So I head back to my place. I install the Java package. Everything works fine. Then it says, in the wiki, okay, install the following plugins. So I look up how to install plugins in Eclipse, and I read something about a marketplace client. So I open it and I start typing, and I find the plugin. Very good. I click install, everything works fine. We go to the second plugin, and I searched in the marketplace client, but I couldn't find the plugin. So, okay. I have a closer look at the wiki page, and it says, there's an update site URL. Okay, so I Google for the update site mechanics. Then I start the installation via an update site. And then after a short time, it says, okay, I cannot complete the install. Alternate solutions will be calculated. This may take a while. Every one of us knows this little progress spinner, which spins and spins and spins. And then a dialog pops up, and it says, okay, there are versioning conflicts or some other reasons why the plugin cannot be installed. So I'm a newbie to Eclipse, and I sit there and think, what's wrong? So I head over to Chuck, who of course has other things to do than to advise me how to install this plugin. But of course he says, let me have a look at that error message. He takes a look and says, dude, no problem. I think we just forgot to update the link in the wiki page. We use another one yet, so just use this one and you're fine to install. So I use the new link and everything works fine as expected. And yes, there are many more plugins. In between, I restart my Eclipse IDE. This takes up a while. And after that, I'm done with step 2 of 8, maybe. So because I have to configure the projects, I have to check out the source code. Everyone knows if the projects aren't imported correctly into Eclipse. So some have to be Maven projects, maybe. Some may not have to be. Otherwise, there will be compile time errors and all these things. So everything is full with this tiny red little markers in your problems view. Yeah, and it goes on and on with configuring Mylan tasks maybe, or set up your working sets, all these things. Just let me know, who of you already had the situation that he had to spend more than half of a day to set up an Eclipse IDE to get ready to work? Yeah, more than half of the people inside this room, and that's what I expected. And half of a day is everything went well. Depending on the project, this can be much more complicated, of course. And that's where we said, okay, this cannot be true. Eclipse is such a great tool. Why is it so complicated to set it up? And this must be easier. So we develop profiles, and profiles gives you the possibility to share your Eclipse setup as it is for you, as it is working for you, with your colleagues, teammates, friends, whoever you want to share with. We just have a sharp look at your Eclipse setup and say, okay, these plugins are installed, so these working sets are configured, these projects are inside your workspace, and we scrape some metadata about your Eclipse, so none of your code is shared or anything, none of your sensitive information, like for example, credentials for any Git repositories or anything. So we scrape up non-sensitive information from your Eclipse, we bundle that as a metadata information file, and then we allow you to share that information with others. Of course, you decide with who to share. And because I can tell you many things about how you work with profiles, it's not as good as a demonstration of how it works. And now I want to show you how you will be able to share your Eclipse setups with profiles more easily with your colleagues, friends, teammates, whoever you want to share it with. So I prepared a little demonstration for you. And we will start with this. First of all, we have the so-called resolution, the Profiles Hub. And on the hub, you can first of all download the core component of profiles, the launcher, and it furthermore allows you to browse public profiles of other people that maybe said, okay, my Eclipse setup is really good, for example, to develop PHP. I think other people should develop PHP in this way with Eclipse too. So maybe I will create a public profile, and other people can use my setup to develop in this way. But yes, this is the point for the hub. So here you've got the hub. You can browse the public profiles. Because it's a demo, it's just one profile in this case. The core component for you as a profiles user, if you want to share your profile with others, it is the so-called launcher. You can download this from the hub, and it allows you to maintain your local Eclipse installations. It gives you an overview. If you started for the first time, it searches on your local machine for existing Eclipse installations. It presents them to you in a comprehensive way, and it allows you to share these profiles with others or to install profiles from others. So let's get back to the example. Let's say I am a team lead and I have the Eclipse setup that I want my employees to work with, and so I give them the possibility to install this. I prepared this little demo ECE project here for you. Let's assume this project, this Eclipse setup, to be the one that yes, my teammates shall be working with. So I just start this Eclipse to give you a quick overview of what's inside. We have here a little demo project which is checked out from Git. It's a Maven project. It has a runtime configuration checked in. You see here testng is configured for testing support because I want my colleagues to test with testng. You maybe noticed that the views are a bit rearranged compared to the standard Eclipse packages. So for example, the testng view is in the main Java perspective. And yeah, we can have a short look here at the Git perspective too, where we can, for example, have a look at the remotes. So this is a project that comes from GitHub, which is public available. And I want now this profile to be used by others, so I want to share it with them. So for that, I open the launcher and say, okay, I want to upload this profile. We then get a quick preview. The screen is really tiny. I hope I can reach the install button. Fuck. Well, yeah, that's crappy. I think I cannot reach it. I maybe show you this with a small video instead, because I've prepared this before. You just say upload now and the profile will automatically be uploaded. Yeah, this is really annoying. No problem. I show you this as a video. So you just upload the profile. We'll switch to the upload page. So here we go. Can everybody see anything? Yeah. If this play bar would disappear, it would be even better. So I switch to the upload page. There you can see it. I switch to the upload page. I get a little preview of what's contained inside the Eclipse. You get a preview of the installed plugins. For example, testng is installed. You can see it here. And you can configure, can you read this? Okay, what's the screen resolution of this? Is there any possibility to change this to a higher resolution? We'll have a short look. Scaled, let's try this one. Okay. So maybe we can switch back to our demo directly now. Yeah, thank you. There we go. So we do this via demo, perfect. No need for a video. Okay, so I can have a short look at what's contained. Let's short look at what's contained. You see the testng support here. You can configure the destination, which is by default the profiles hub, and you can configure the visibility. By default, and profile is uploaded private, so you only you have access to the profile. And yes, that's it. You can have a short look at what repositories are contained, which projects, even the ini settings, for example, can be managed by profiles. If you say, hey, I know my Eclipse and I know it needs at least 4 GB of random access memory, otherwise it will get really, will get freezes every 2 seconds, then you can maintain this via profiles too. And you can see here, well, even the workbench layout is shared, so that a new employee, for example, has an easy start with the Eclipse IDE. So I now say upload, and yes, an entry at the hub is created for you so that you have the possibility to show this to others. You send them just a link. So this profile is just identified by the link. You can send them a link, and they come to this profile page, of course, if they have access to, and they can see, okay, which tools are installed, which repositories are contained, basically the same information as shown in the launcher, just as a preview for the people that want to install the profile. You can change the visibility here. So if I'm a team leader, I would now say, okay, please share this with everyone that has an @yatta.de email address. So all my Yatta colleagues have access to this profile, but no one else. Okay, and yes, now I receive the link, and I want to install the profile. So I just click on Install Profile, and I get a little preview in the launcher again. So you can choose where to install, of course. You can have a look again at what's contained. You can choose if you want to be notified about updates, because Profiles even allows you to push updates to your team. And yeah, if you configured everything as you want, you can just say install. And maybe some of you noticed that you even here have a version chooser. So Profiles offers you the possibility to install older versions. If you push updates for a profile, we keep the old versions, and you have the possibility to just install them. So I would press install now, and the launcher starts the installation, which is provided basically by Oomph. Who of you knows Oomph? Okay, everyone. So the installation process starts now, and so good. But maybe some of you say, yeah, okay, cloud is nice. I like it to distribute via cloud. That's easy. But I'm in a company, and yeah, I have sensitive Git repositories, and I don't trust anyone, and I don't want anything to be in the cloud. So is there another solution for this? Yes, there is. You can just open your Eclipse, and you can share your profile via file instead of pushing it to the cloud. You maybe noticed this tiny plugin here. It's the launcher plugin, which provides us with the scraped metadata of your Eclipse installation, which allows you to configure what shall be contained in your profile. You can, for example, say if your preferences shall be recorded to be contained in the profile, if your workbench layout shall be contained in the profile, and it allows you to say, okay, I want to export the profile as a file. You then have to choose a location on your local machine. Yeah, I already did this before. And yeah, then this is exported as a file. You get notified that everything works. And then you can just send these files via email to a colleague. And your colleague can just start the installation via the launcher and can say, hey, okay, cool. I want to create a new profile from the file my colleague sent me. This should be the file. Okay, so I want to install this. You get the same preview as you are used to. You can see what's contained inside the file, what's contained inside the Eclipse. We can have a short look so that you see it's really the same. You see the test-ng support, for example, is contained again. The repositories are the same. It's the GitHub repository. The demo project is there, and we can just say, okay, install this now, and the installation starts. In the meanwhile, the other installation finished that I triggered from the hub, so from the cloud, and it finished to configure your Eclipse completely. So you see this little ready screen, and we will have a short look at the Eclipse if everything looks the same as in the original one. And you see here, okay, the demo project is imported into Workspace. It's a Maven project. It obviously comes from a Git repository. The test in G view is there, so obviously the test in G support should be installed. Yes, the Git view should look the same. Oh, it does. And the remote, of course, should be the same too. It comes from GitHub. It's not another repository. So it seems like the installation succeeded and everything went well. And the result of the imported file project, of course, should be the same as this one because it was the same profile. The mechanics are the same, just the sharing principles are different. In the beginning, I said that Profiles not only offers you the possibility to share your Eclipse setup with others, but also push updates of your local Eclipse installation to your colleagues. And I want to give you a little demonstration of that too, how you are able to push updates to others and to receive updates from others. For that, I have created a little demo tab here with an already uploaded profile. You see there are multiple tabs in the launcher. You can use them to contextualize your local and remote Eclipse profiles, to group them, for example, if you have some for work and some private and some for this open source project and some for that, or things like this. And yes, I already have here the Demo ECE parent project. So this is the one I maintain as the project lead. It is an uploaded profile. You see here, it has this cloud icon, and it is public available, so everyone has access to it. And okay, I start this now because, yeah, all my colleagues, the code looks horrible, and I want to install CheckStyles plugin now, and I want them to use CheckStyle plugin, so the code starts to look better. So I open the marketplace and search for the CheckStyle plugin and start installation. So here we go. We search for the CheckStyle plugin, and then we choose it to be installed. Okay. Finish. So in the meanwhile, the installation from the file finished, and we have the same ready screen as before. Everything looks the same. The demo project is in the workspace. Test and G support is there. I think we don't have to take a look at the Git perspective now. Okay, so while the software here is getting installed, I maybe give you a preview or a little look at the Sandbox for Eclipse, which, as I mentioned in the beginning, is a very reduced platform IDE. I've installed this via Profiles for you here, and you will see it starts up very fast because it's no unnecessary plugins are installed. It basically is an Eclipse platform with nothing more than a text editor. We reduced everything from the UI that is not that is not necessary by default. So at least that is what remains. So you have no Java support, no Maven support, no C++ support, nothing. Just a text editor. It is very small, and our goal is to make the Eclipse UI leaner and clearer. We want to give an easy introduction to Eclipse, because when you download a standard package, you of course have support for multiple different tools by default. And those of course contribute to all these UIs. They give you buttons in the main toolbar, they give you context menus and all these things. And this can be overwhelming look at what happens and then say, okay, finish, perform the install. And now you have a little progress spinner here in the bottom, and you can wait for it to finish. It's the Eclipse updater, and if it finishes, you may have to restart your Eclipse because some plugin dependencies were installed. And yes, when the update did finish, then we will have a short look if the check styles installation went well. Okay, I think we will have a look at the end. I will switch back to my slides for now. So, what do you get from profiles? I told you about 3 different things. One of these things is the launcher I presented to you, which you can use to maintain your local Eclipse installations, to share your local Eclipse installations with others, to apply updates, to push updates to others, all these things. You get the cloud service, the eHub, which allows you to browse the profiles of others that you have access to see a little preview of the profile you're going to be installed, and of course to maintain your profiles, for example, to maintain their visibility, to add a description that is meaningful and all these things. And last but not least, the tiny profiles plugin inside Eclipse, which allows you to configure the contents of your Eclipse, of your profile, and to trigger, for example, the profile's file export. And pretty important too, that's all free. You can use this for free. This will stay free. So feel free to try it out. And yes, of course, give us feedback. We always appreciate feedback. Yes, that was it from me. And by the way, don't forget to rate the sessions at eclipsecon.org. We'll maybe have a short look at the update process if everything went well. So here you got the notification, press finish to restart now, okay. Also, I will restart my Eclipse now and the check style support shall be installed. Are there any questions?
Multi-platform environment is part of our developers on Linux, part of the
Mm-hmm. Profiles and the launcher itself, they support multi-platform environments, so we're not dependent on any platform. Of course, if you have an explicit dependency on a plugin that is platform dependent, yes, of course, this will make potentially problems if you install the profile on a different platform. All right? So, quick look at the installation at the end, and you see here the Eclipse checkstyle plugin is installed.
Any alternative cloud-like solutions for internet for sharing profiles instead of files only?
You mean something like on-premise hosting, for example, for company internal profile servers or something like this? Yes. At the moment, we're evaluating the on-premise hosting, for example, to host your own server. At the moment, you can just contact us about this, and we will discuss this. And of course, yes, there is a solution, but we don't hand this out directly at the moment. Mm-hmm.
The update mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You want to work with the Cloud Hub solution?
Yes.
Of the file.
Yes.
Is it also possible to delete plugins? So if you say in our company we use plugin X,
Mm-hmm.
and now we want to use plugin Z, and to remove the X1.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, removal of plugins is at the moment not supported. Mm-hmm.
But what happens if there are credentials? It will pop up and
Yes.
asking for
The-
new credentials and so on.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the case.
Same with P2 repositories. If I have a target platform set, is that anyways taken into your profiles or?
Yes, the target platform is shared. So if you have a versioned target file in your repository and that is configured in your workspace, then that configuration is taken into account in the profile. And if you have a local target platform that's not part of your project, but in the workspace metadata, then the target platform description itself becomes part of the profile.
Okay.
As apart from the other stuff.
But if it's in the project and it's set, I mean that's the usual case, it's set to be the target, would it resolve automatically after installing and then asking me for credentials? Or
Yes.
would I have to come there after setup and resolve it?
No, it will resolve automatically, and if you have any password protection slides, you will get a pop-up with the answers.
Profiles are specific for the Eclipse release. Can I use them to update to another, from Neon to Oxygen, for example?
Yes, good question too. You can not automatically use them to update from Neon to Oxygen. You, of course, can update your profile manually from Neon to Oxygen and then push the updates to your colleagues.
But that's something on our roadmap. I hope we will be
Yeah.
there. So you can just say on the website, update this to photo, and
Yeah.
then you're ready to go.
If I do share an OOMP setup already in my environment, what would be the easiest way to switch to profiles? I would probably set it up, share it in the launcher, or
Yeah, that's one possibility. Of course, if you have a very sophisticated OOMP setup file, you of course can contact us. We can maybe import the OOMP setup file directly into profiles, so we can turn the OOMP setup file into a profile. Because as I said, we basically use OOMP for the setup process, and yeah, that are the options.
But there's also a way for you to do it yourself, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So if you're doing anything special that we don't detect automatically, you can create regular tasks the way you like them, and just add them to your workspace, to your workspace setup. And everything in there that's not already picked up some other way will be included in the profile automatically.
okay.
Any more questions? Okay, so thank you very much.